Welcome back to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast, where we solve life and business problems. I am your host, Ebenezer Mamabolo, and this afternoon I'm chilling with Cathy. Cathy, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you, Ebenezer?
I am good. Yeah, it's been, this podcast has been long overdue, hey?
That's true.
For the listeners who don't know who Cathy is and who've never had an interaction with you, whom would you say that Cathy is?
Sure, what a question. Who am I? Okay, how do I actually get to introduce myself? Cathy is an NLP certified life coach. And I would say my day-to-day job involves, accompanying people, individuals and groups, organizations, through their journey of self-mastery.
Okay.
Yes, that is me professionally. I'm a mother, I'm a partner, I'm a girlfriend, I am a facilitator. Yes.
Yeah. And for those who are listening to this podcast who are saying that, I keep on hearing people saying that, no, I need to have self-mastery. What does self-mastery mean to you?
Oh, what a beautiful question. Thank you for that. Self-mastery is basically about, finding your dance in life, your natural way of living.
Okay.
Yes, it is about really knowing who you are.
Okay.
What are you about? Where do you go in life? And having a sense of your being.
Okay.
Yeah, all together.
Okay. And for those who are saying that, okay, I hear you, but I want to know the back end story. What type of environment did you grow up in that led you to maybe at some times in your life where you had not discovered this self-mastery, where maybe when you were growing up and ultimately what's the journey that you took from you being maybe little when you were growing up and whatever you were in up until the moment when you discovered your self-mastery?
Okay, beautiful question again. Growing up, I think I've just been Cathy, who's been really free, and I would do a whole lot of explorations. I would just be like so free-minded. I would go for anything that I want.
Okay.
Yeah, and it has not been easy for the people around me because, a child who comes in and just demand things and would not settle at nothing but exactly what they want. That was just me growing up. Then I think it went on until even high school. I went to schools that I actually went and enrolled myself in.
Okay.
And get the parents to be responsible of everything else that needed the parents to do. Then there came a point where, of course, you get to be conscious in terms of society. You get your limiting beliefs. You get all those sense of, okay, maybe I'm not good enough because I'm not able to get this and that in life. You start to question your level of intelligence. You start to question your level of your sense of existence.
Okay.
Yeah, and your journey in life. What am I here for? What is this? Why am I not able to have this while it's easier for other people to have? Yeah, so I think for the most part of my early, what is this age group when you exit?
Adolescent.
Adolescent, I did not have a problem. I was just as free. I was enjoying my life, my youth.
Yes.
I think everything went in a different direction when I started dating, and immediately after starting dating, I then had a child, and the father was away. That was, I think, the first hit of beginning to question yourself and lose a whole lot of confidence in oneself, because when you meet someone, it's about love, isn't it? And so when you believe you're loved, you just give.
Yeah.
So it happened like that, and unfortunately, within a short space of time, and I was there alone. I'm having a child. I'm having this. I'm not even able to go to university because it happened immediately after matric.
Okay.
So I'm not even able to go to university or anything. I'm working. Well, then I was already working anyway as a waitress. Yeah, so I had to continue with that and also enroll at a college. Yeah, as I enrolled in college, I then took weekend jobs. Monday to Friday, I'm at school. Saturday and Sunday, I'm at work.
Okay.
Yeah, that was just my life then, and I think it was a season for me to really get to then experience challenges.
Okay.
Because now I have a child to feed, whose father is not there. Yes, and those. So, yeah, but because I've been a resilient being myself, I think it comes naturally for me.
Okay.
I went to college first year. I was just at a college managing my child and school and work because that in the first year, well, I can't remember. Well, I know at some point I decided to buy a bicycle. No, it was in the second year. I went through the year. The following year, I then went for a challenge to be in the SRC. I was the only female SRC student at the college, female SRC student. And then, yeah, it was exciting because then I've got challenges. I've got school, I've got work, I've got a child, I've got leadership roles to play.
Yes.
Yeah, so it went on and on and on like that. That was my regular schedule. Therefore, I was mainly focused on those.
Okay.
Yeah. So as that went, I remember at some point I even took my child from home to stay with me at a room. I rented a room in closer to school.
Okay.
And with that, because at the college there was a crash, I even took my
Oh,
child
okay.
in the crash by the school. Therefore, what happens? I would go to school, drop my child at the crash. After class, when I'm done with classes, I'll go fetch, and then we go to the room. So I'm a parent. I'm a parent, and I'm also a student. And weekends I have to work. Therefore, I'll have either I'll have someone to look after my child when I'm not around, or I'll take her home to be with my grandmother. Because my mother will also be at work over the weekends as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but it did not last too long because it was just too much for me to carry. And I had to take her home, but still continue with my routine like that. I still need to maintain paying the bills, my rent, now taking more responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah, paying my rent at where I stay, buying my child whatever she needs, being in the running the leadership roles, yeah, and all that, working weekends. What made me to get to where I am today in the field of facilitation and coaching was that when I was at the college, they would take us for leadership camps, workshops, and I think that made me really enjoy college the most.
Okay.
Yeah, because with those I could see myself, like when I'm in the workshop, I could really see myself as that person who's facilitating.
Yes.
How they would be presenting the content, and I'm like, maybe that is it for me, and yeah, that was, I think, part of me now growing out of that. Like I immediately connected with it. Like, yeah, no, this is natural for me. I can do this. So I completed college. After college, I went to work. I did 3 things, I think, in the beginning. Just when I completed college, I first went and worked at what did I do first? I can't remember. I told you I tend to forget.
Okay.
But I sold books. I had a mini bookstore with a friend. Like, we sold inspirational books we actually rented a space in a printing shop.
Okay.
Yes, there by Metropolitan Center.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we sold books there. at some point the business was not doing so well because it was not easy to get these books and
Yeah.
stuff. So we then left the business because it was very close as friends. We went to work at a restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, and we worked from the restaurant. We went to work for a magazine. Well, I can't remember the how we moved from one to the other, but those are things I did along the way.
Yes.
What I remember doing was when I was working for the magazine, I enjoyed it so much because I was doing media and marketing.
Okay.
So with media, I would easily create my own content
Oh,
in
yes,
terms of
yeah.
now going out to engage with people in the community and mostly artists.
Okay.
Because the creative space is very, very beautiful.
Yes.
So I would go and speak to artists, the upcoming artists, and do interviews with them. Or have sets of questions for them. We'll meet up at a restaurant somewhere, and then I'll be doing this, taking notes. Then we'll exchange photos. I did not even use a professional photographer, so it's either they send me their photos or we'll find a way to snap.
Oh, okay.
Is if we needed a better photo, we had a photographer at them for that magazine. Then we will arrange for just a snapshot or two.
Okay.
Then that content went. I remember I named that section in the magazine Limpopo's Got Talent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember reading about this somewhere.
Yes. Oh, that's very lovely. Is Limpopo's Got Talent. That was a page I was actually running independently, although yes, through the support of that magazine.
Okay.
That I worked for. Is while I'm doing my media and marketing.
Okay.
So as I was now thinking about, now I'm beginning to do a whole lot more of self-reflections on really getting to understand myself, wanting to connect more with who I really am. And boom, one day I am on YouTube. I am looking through, I think I was looking for life coaches and stuff like that. And I came across Tony Gaskins. I'm like, so there's someone like this, there's people like this who do this. Okay, and then I started to read more on life coaching. I'm like, oh, this is more like psychology. I think that is also the year I enrolled at the University of South Africa for psychology.
Okay.
So that I think I'm getting to understand that I am for people, and I enjoy seeing people grow. I enjoy, that continuous improvement when you see someone moving from at least this position in their lives to the next and higher level, then that gives me a whole lot of pleasure.
Wow,
like, okay, maybe that is exactly what I should focus on. Then how do I do it? I went and enrolled for psychology in at the University of South Africa, mainly focusing on health sciences, social services, is community development. Yes. And then I also went to study NLP, life coaching, and mental combat. But when that happened, I did not know about neuro-linguistic programming. I just wanted life coaching. And I couldn't find it anywhere closer. So I contacted them in Joburg. I went and did that course. It took about 7 days. That was when they separated doing the NLP practitioner course and life coaching course. You could finish this one and then pay for the next one. So I only did that one also because I did not have money for
the entire program.
Yeah, the entire program. So I went on and did that. Passed my exam in NLP life coaching. Then I came back to Polokwane, and I've got a fancy title. I'm an NLP life coach, but who knows what an NLP life coach is? Who knows what an NLP life coach is? And it's not easy. Okay, what do I do? I've got this dream now. I'm following everybody that is a life coach, and I see they're doing exactly what I'd like to do. I'd like to talk and inspire people and facilitate and organize these workshops and seminars and stuff. For some reason, do you see where we are seated right now? It was, I think, in 2013 when I had completed my NLP life coaching course. I discovered this place It was one of those places that you walk in and you can tell it is not used.
Okay.
It's there, but it's not used, man. It's, you know, that smell that says this place.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time people were here was ages ago. That was it.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is a place for it. This is exactly where I want to do my workshops and trainings. I want to work from here. Then I went on and inquired about how do I get to use this place. I found the landlord. I started speaking to her, but it was still not easy. For 2013, 2014, 2015, all those years, even though sometimes I'll take a break because now that enemy that says maybe I'm not good enough, you know, I did not practice for some time, but the dream is still there and it's burning because I really want to do this. So until along the way, I did very beautiful things. I also volunteered for Dream Girls International Outreach Program for girls. So it was very nice there. I practiced a little bit of the skills that I have learned from coaching, and I could also, you know, borrow from the toolbox when I'm engaging with my proteges. Yes. And I also did just a few sessions here and there with other individuals. And I would get invited to speak, for probably no fee or very little. Until I connected with another coach. It was Kobas Fesser, and then I connected with Renier, these people. I did firewalk as well. While I was still, you know how you get interested in these things.
Yes.
I'm all over going there and there. So when I did the firewalk, then I was also connected with another coach, Renier. Renier connected me with another coach. Now, you know, now the database is growing. I'm getting to connect more with life coaches, and it's very exciting. So when I discovered that there's now coaches in Polokwane, people who are getting now the grasp of coaching, then it sparked again. I'm like, now this is exactly what I want. I want to be in a space where people grow and where at least there's a community of coaches that we do this. People need to know that there is life coaching. I guess I also needed that for myself. Not that I couldn't do by myself. Maybe that also to think that I cannot do it, or I'm not credible enough, I'm not good enough. A lot of people suffer from that a whole lot.
A lot.
So it is something that had bothered me for the longest time. So, but when I was introduced to Osumkhari, I met with her, we connected, and I requested, I grabbed her by the hand. I'm like, look, I want to show you a place where I really want us to go and facilitate and do workshops. Like, let's collaborate, let's do this together. And I now connected again with the landlord, and then we pursued her one more time. And for some reason, maybe because of that power of, you know, we are now together, we got to secure the hall. I mean the office. And this is exactly how now in 2020 we are here seated at a place where I always wanted to facilitate workshops, trainings and stuff, and look at it. So what am I saying? That it did not happen exactly the time that I wanted, but it happened eventually. Therefore, the vision is really manifesting.
Yes.
Now the journey to self-mastery has really started to manifest for me. And it gives me more confidence and more affirmation to say this is really possible. So now we're in 2020. In 2018, I told myself that I am not going to do anything else but coach, and speak and facilitate, like do all these things that I've always believed for myself. When I open my journals from 2011 and 2012, I get amazed at how much I have written and how much I am manifesting today of the things that I have written before. That is why I believe so much in the power of writing down and doing this vision boards. Because even if they don't happen right now, they do happen eventually.
Yes,
so
yes.
long as you keep your energy flowing in that direction.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yes. Now the whole framework of your journey also was birthed from this whole thing.
Okay.
Well, your journey was more of I think it was a gift delivered for me.
Okay. Okay.
It was a gift delivered for me. I was seated in my room in Pretoria, and in 2014 when I was in Pretoria,
Okay.
it was delivered for me, and I'm like, so I can actually write a book, ne? Yeah, I can write a book and title it Your Journey. That's that, like your journey, and it will be about mastering yourself, understanding yourself, and your purpose and your vision, and changing your habits. All about you first, before filling your cup first before you go out in the world and say, yeah guys, here I am, I want to help you, because you cannot really go out to help other people when you really need
Oh yes,
that
yes.
for yourself.
For yourself first, yes.
But at least you can, that you can do. But there comes a point where you're more like a hypocrite type.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sorry to say that, but it feels like it at some point if you have not done the work.
The work, yes.
So what you need to do, or what I believe that one has to do, in my own opinion, is that you need to really work on yourself, and that is where the whole concept, or the framework rather, of your journey was birthed. That you have to do these things before you get to a point where you help people.
Yes.
Yeah, because helping people, that you cannot help the world, like you cannot save the world.
Yes.
You can help certain people, and these people should be aligning with your purpose.
Yes.
Should be the people that you truly need to help.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is exactly how I got to where I am today. I think I'm at a point where I'm able to help people from the source where I draw my own inspiration.
Yes. Yeah, now, because when you're looking at the youth, I remember one time I was talking to this friend of mine, and she was telling me about her sister. And she's like, no, my sister has got a child, but it seems like she doesn't have a child. The level of maturity that she has, it seems like she hasn't matured yet, and she's missing the fact that she's got responsibility that she needs to take care of. And you find that, especially when it comes to girls, some, when they've got a child, they might say, what happened to me? How did I get myself here? And how can I come out of this? Then there will also be those ones who, when they reach that moment, they'll be like, this happened to me. There's nothing I can do about it. Let me move on with my life. Now, when you were young and you were madly in love with this guy, and suddenly you had, I would assume that, like me, you had given your all, and you loved this person so much that you gave up everything to try to make this person happy, sometimes even forgetting about yourself and your own happiness. When that moment happened, when you tell him that, no, I'm pregnant, and leading to the time when he disappears, what were you thinking? What were you thinking in your mind? And what made that shift for you to say that, no, now I'm no longer alone. I am no longer responsible for me alone, but I'm also responsible for my child. What was that shift for you?
Okay, thank you. That's a beautiful question. What happened is, when I suspected that I was pregnant, he was the first person to know that I think something is happening. And what happened is I was already working, working as a waitress. So I bought myself that pregnancy test kit. Then I went to his place. We have to see it together.
Yes. Yes.
And it happened. I tested positive, and in that moment, I got really scared. So scared that I didn't know what to think.
Okay.
Well, I'm young. I just completed my matric. Let me tell you what happened. It was, I know the day I conceived.
Okay.
So it was during the holidays, like we dated, we did not do those sexual activities. I think we did once.
Okay.
Right? And then the next year, when he was returning to college, because he was a student.
Okay.
When he was returning to college, he returned, and then we were talking, and the other time, it was going to be my birthday.
Okay.
In that day, I had suggested that we go watch a movie.
Okay.
So for some reason, the guy got sick on my birthday.
Okay.
He did not show up.
Okay.
He did not pick up the phone. And it was a painful thing. But you know what? Being me, I just took myself out.
Okay.
To go watch the very same movie that I had intended to watch with him. The very same time that we agreed that we'll go watch the movie. So I watched the movie. And I think it ended at 10 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Then at that time there were no Ubers and
Yes. Yes.
So even the Maxi taxis I was not so familiar with. I'm not even sure if they were there. But what I got assured of was the people at that cinema said, no, we are actually going the same direction as you after the movie. So therefore you can watch it. We'll go back home together. Then I got comfortable. I knew I've got people that I can trust that will travel together. So I watched the movie. After the movie, it was lovely. One of them offered to buy me burger from McDonald's. How lovely. Then and then I kept calling him. I kept calling the guy after my birthday. Yes, I had a cell phone. I had bought myself a cell phone over the holidays because I had worked over the December holidays.
Yes.
Yes, made money. Now it's February. I am okay. I've got things to work with.
Yes.
So there comes Valentine, and I'm like, okay, I forgave him. I love him, right? Forgave him. He did not peach. Perhaps he was truly sick on the day, of which his cousin confirmed. Nah.
Okay.
He was not sick.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, the Valentine came. We still went out for a movie again. That is him making up for the missed birthday. And then things happened on Valentine's Day. That is the day I conceived.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, and then a couple of weeks later, of course, that is when I discovered that I'm actually pregnant. And in that moment, when we did the test, this guy cried. Like we both were shocked. He cried. He said things. I remember he said, let me think about what are you going to do. I said, I don't know. I truly did not know what I was going to do because coming from my background, you cannot do abortion.
Yes.
And stuff.
It's forbidden.
But I did not say much to him about that. That very day, I went to my mother. I told my mother the very same day I discovered that I was pregnant. And my mother said, Cathy, that's it. You're not going to terminate. My mother had me at a very young age. It's like, look at you, you've grown, I've done what I could to take care of you, and you're going to do the very same thing for your child. That for me was, let me now settle with the idea that I'm pregnant, I'm going to be a mother, and we'll see. I am here now. My child would also, live. The guy also at some point was like, no, but we have to get rid of it. I mean, it's still very small and stuff like that. I'm not sure if that is one thing I'm going to do, but this is it. I think if we are going to be together, then we have to now plan for the child.
Yes.
Well, he would agree. He would then, nods and stuff. I don't think we've seen each other. I don't have memories of my pregnancy journey with him. I think the only one I have was once, because Also within that space, I remember in April I left for Joburg.
Okay.
A friend of mine was living in Joburg, and I went to visit. As I'm visiting her, there was this other guy that had a child. The boy was around 3 years old, and he needed someone to help. So I worked as a helper.
Okay.
Yes, I did that. I actually forgot that I was once a nanny,
Okay.
That's very interesting. Yes, I worked as a helper. I would get that child ready for school each day. I would, do
Yes.
those duties, get to clean and, be that nanny. Until I think I was about 7 months pregnant, and then I'm like, no, I cannot do this anymore. Plus, the conditions could not just allow me to be staying with someone, and I'm pregnant, and I'm far away from home. Then I came back home. As I come back home, I went to see him.
Okay.
I think it was not so fruity, but we did not fight.
Okay.
It was just awkward because then I think he also had a girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There were stories around him not being there. I don't have the memories of what happened exactly, but I remember I could not necessarily find him at the time that he had said he would be available. Yeah, so he was elsewhere with the girlfriend, and then he had to come. That stories. But those I'm not really bothered about. Then I went to stay with my grandmother in Butogwa.
Okay.
Yeah, that is where I gave birth to my daughter. Then I came back. As I came back, still I went to say to him, now the child is here.
Yes.
Are you going to take responsibility? Are you going to be part of your child's life? He never said no. To date, he never said no.
Okay.
But my daughter does not know.
He
does not know her father. My daughter is turning 13 this year.
Wow. Huh.
I think the only thing that he did was when I was on my way from Botok, I used a taxi. We met in town by that what's this?
The mall, Limpopo Mall.
Limpopo Mall at Wimpy.
Okay.
And I had my child wrapped in blankets because she was still very, very small.
Yes.
The only thing he did was just peep into the blankets and sew the baby. That was it. I mean, I cannot even remember if he carried the baby. But I think when the child was about 6 months, he only came once.
Okay.
And that was it.
That was it. Never again.
Yes, never again. Never did they meet, never did they talk, never did anything happen. Yes, so we never fought, but he never saw the child.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is me answering how did I think about it. No, I was just going to take care of my child regardless
of. And one of the problems that we have when something like this happens.
Yeah.
I remember there's this friend of mine. No, she's an ex of mine. And she still has got a grudge against the guy who got her pregnant.
Okay.
Like even up to this day, she doesn't even, when the guy tries to reach out to say that, no, I want to see my daughter, or I want to at least maybe pitch in and help in, she still has got that pain that, no, this guy got me pregnant and he left me at the time, and she's still carrying this pain. And at some times she even transfers that pain to her daughter. She even tells her about how horrible the guy is, and all those things. And for you never did that because you, like you said that we never fought. It was just the way it is. And now, what are you doing to ensure that your daughter grows up not having maybe a grudge or having anger towards her father, not really knowing what really happened between you? Or are you just saying, no, she will just see when it happens?
No, you cannot do that. Yes, there were points where my daughter would ask, well, where's my father? Before I met the guy that I'm with now.
Okay.
My daughter would say, where's my father? I'm like, hey, look at me. I'm your mother and I'm your father at the same time.
Okay.
That's how it went on for the longest time. When I dated, I never introduced my daughter to anyone.
Okay.
Yes, until I got pregnant with the younger brother.
Okay.
And then we are living in a space where I'm going to live with all my kids,
Okay, okay,
with my partner.
okay,
Now, yes, I introduced them before my son was born. They
okay,
had that relationship now going before I gave birth.
okay.
They met, they created that. Yeah, they got along so beautifully.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess it goes with also choosing the kind of people that you want to surround
Oh
yourself
yeah.
with.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so they had that relationship. My son then was born, and then we live together now. And it's gotten to a point where I feel jealous because my daughter does not tell me everything, but tells
Okay,
him.
okay, yeah.
She would rather not say a lot to me.
Okay.
She would say this and that, but when she really wants to say a whole lot of things, he is the go-to
The
guy.
go-to guy, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm in terms of my children, I think I've allowed them to really grow to see things differently, or
Okay,
grow in a
okay.
different space, and never ever feel any form of a difference.
Okay,
No,
okay.
this is my father, but my father, no. Actually, my daughter calls his father now like daddy, and it's non-negotiable.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, there's nothing that says, "Ooh, what if?" No. They've got the best relationship. You would
Wow.
swear they are from. Yeah,
Wow.
they've known each other since.
Yeah, no, that's very beautiful because, you know, when a breakup like this or a misconnection like this, people tend to hold grudges, and you'll find that later on, when you yourself want to move on or you want to get into self-mastery, you tend to realize that no, there are some things or some pains
Yes.
that I'm still carrying myself. That if I don't let this go or maybe forgive myself for those mistakes that I made with this guy and all those things, you might find that they are stopping you and the transformation that you yourself want to go to.
Yes.
And now fast forwarding from that element, from that moment to where you are now. You mentioned something about there were moments where you felt like you were not worthy or you felt insecure about you being a coach. Now, because we've got a lot of people who've got those moments where sometimes you feel that no, the success that I'm pursuing, I don't feel like I'm worthy of this success. Or when I look at me and my background, I'm not sure, or I even feel like I shouldn't even be here. What's normally it's called imposter syndrome. Now, what did you have some of those challenges, and how did you conquer those imposter syndromes in your own life?
Another very, very important question. The journey to self mastery has been very beautiful for me.
Okay.
I had to do work. When I'm referring to the work, it's actually about now just sitting in silence. That is
Okay.
the work.
Okay.
Yeah, let life unfold for you, and you should connect really, really, really with your highest self.
Okay.
I got to realize that the things that are happening, they're not happening to me, they're happening for me.
Okay.
They're happening for me. Therefore, I should allow all of it to happen.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and how I respond to them, it's entirely up to me.
Okay.
Because as I am responding from a place of awareness.
Okay.
Therefore, I'm creating the outcomes for my life. So I learned to really to detach myself from the things that are happening
Okay. Okay.
to me, to look at them from a different perspective. So as I did that, I realized something very, very profound that I still hold on very closely to my heart to date.
Okay.
And that is probably the most important lesson in connecting to myself is that, excuse me, when you take time to do those reflections, when you meditate, you begin to be free.
Okay.
You begin to detach yourself from a whole lot of things and really be aware of things that are happening. It's more like you take a step back and there you are.
Okay.
Your spirit could it be your spirit is just somewhere else, like you now operate
On a higher level.
on a higher level. You know, you would literally just do this, like how people are playing chess.
Oh yes.
But you are there playing yourself.
Playing yourself. Okay.
Yes, you're there playing yourself. So you choose.
Okay.
You get to decide, do I stop? Do I take a moment to breathe? Do I respond to that? Yes or no?
Okay.
You know, it has been that for me, and I think if there's anything I could teach at all is that people should learn to detach themselves from all those things that they believe is they are missing their lives or whatever. There's just a whole lot of noise there when you operate from that level where you just want to be in control of everything, or you just want to be in the midst of all these things that are happening. But when you detach yourself from all those and look at everything that is happening, it becomes very beautiful. It
Wow,
becomes
yes.
gentle. It becomes peaceful. I could say a whole lot of things about that. Like, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's freedom. If anyone is looking for freedom, they should look within. I mean, it sounds cliche. It sounds like something we hear every day, but it's true.
It's true, definitely.
So
yes.
if I have to, I'll repeat over and over that detach yourself and look at yourself from that level of awareness. Yes, and you would have peace.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have peace. You would have a sense of who you truly are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you'll see that you're actually very much timeless.
Okay.
Like, time is not running on you or anything. No, you are there. Be in that moment and embrace that moment and do what you have to do in that very moment.
Yes.
Yes, do what you have to do, and so that, you know, that body that you live in may have its own experiences. Actually, you can create those experiences yourself. You know, you do a whole lot of things when you're operating from this. So if anyone has to learn anything from me right now, it would be how to look at themselves from that place.
From that perspective. And you know, meditation is something that everyone wants to do, or it's something that they are curious to learn how to do it. But you know, when you're looking at the different sources, or maybe the masters who would be teaching meditation, one would even be tempted to think that it's something that maybe me from Limpopo I can't do, because what they are talking about there, it seems like it's something extraordinary. And I remember, for me, I don't even know if I should say I do meditate. But what happens for me is that I have got this, now it's just that it has changed. Now I have got this spot under one of the mango trees there at home. And I'll just have my chair there and I'll just chill there, just chill in silence and get to think about me and my life. What do I want to do with my life, or where have I made mistakes in my life? And reflecting about my life, where I am, maybe what could I be learning from this experience that I'm in. If there's pain that I'm feeling, what is it that I can learn from this pain, or what are the lessons that this pain is trying to teach me? Now, for someone who's saying that I want to, maybe I don't know how to do this, and I would like you to teach me how do I meditate, or how do I do this practice where I am aware of myself and I am aware of my being, that I can detach from whatever experiences that I am involved in now. Maybe I don't know if it's 5 minutes or what, but if you were to say that these are the instructions, or this is the tool, that this is what you should do for you to be able to do that, can you maybe teach us how do we do that? Maybe for maybe 5 minutes or so, so that someone who's listening to this podcast would say that, okay, now let me try this, because I've got some things in my life that I want to solve in my own life, or I want to help myself. I've been meaning to try these meditative processes and all those things. Can you help us with that?
Oh, well, With pleasure. Meditation comes in very different ways and different forms. I think the best way to do it is find what works for you.
Okay.
What works for you in order for you to get to a place where you really feel a sense of peace, gentleness, and more calmness. Not bothered, man.
Okay.
The silence, like really, really, the ultimate silence.
Okay.
So, what I do is just keep quiet.
Okay.
And not entertain any thought. You know, when you're sitting, if you want, you can lie down.
Okay.
And find your most comfortable position, or you can sit up straight, maybe with your spine nicely comfortable, and perhaps close your eyes. If you're not closing your eyes, have your eyes focused on one point.
Okay.
As you have your eyes faced on that one point, anything that comes to your mind, because that is when you're going to want to wonder, am I connecting to myself or not?
Yes.
Or let those go.
Okay.
Let it go. Let it now begin to let your thoughts, as you breathe. Now you pay also attention to your breath.
Okay.
You imagine the thoughts that are actually now clouding your mind. In and out breath going away with that breath.
Oh,
as you
okay.
You breathe in and out consciously now. As you breathe in fresh air. When you imagine fresh air, you imagine this nice breeze from the ocean.
Okay. Okay.
And as you breathe out, you imagine it going like the shore going, you know how water will go with, like that. So imagine your thoughts going there, because now you don't want them for now. Maybe you can for now, because perhaps you might need them later. But in that moment, allow yourself to really not think.
Okay.
Yes. As a thought comes, let it go.
Okay.
And let it go with that wave in the words, and breathe in and out until you really are relaxed, and allow yourself to relax your shoulders and everything.
Okay.
You know, the muscles on your face will tell if you are tense, because if you're able to smile naturally, it means you're truly relaxed.
Okay.
So you let any idea, any thought go, and you close your eyes or have your eyes opened and relax. Drop your body weight. If you're lying on the floor, drop your body weight on the floor. If you're sitting, drop your body weight on the chair. Let whatever that you are lying on take care of your weight.
Okay.
So that you may feel every part of your being. If that now, when they talk about these vibrations, you begin to feel them.
Okay.
If you are now in complete silence.
Okay.
You can feel that I am actually energy, as they say.
Okay. Okay.
And now you can also activate the energy. Now it takes a whole lot of practice for you to be able to meditate and really activate these energies and stuff, because initially you might try to meditate and you fall asleep. You might even wake up because people prefer to meditate when they're going to sleep, which it's not necessarily what should happen. You must also meditate at your most awakened time.
Okay.
Yes, because when you meditate as a way to go and sleep, you just fall asleep. You're tired. You fall asleep and you wake up tomorrow morning. That is what I used to do.
Okay.
Like I can literally put myself to sleep.
Okay.
For those people that have got insomnia, I think maybe that's what they can start with. But the main thing when it comes to meditation is to allow yourself to be comfortable wherever you are.
Okay.
It does not necessarily have to be in a greenery space or wherever you are, so long as you are able to be in the moment, relax, perhaps even take off your shoes, because that's what I like doing. Take off my shoes and keep quiet. Keep quiet and more like you're listening. And because life is also about the senses, you will begin to also notice the sounds in the space. Even in the silence, you can then It's more like the waves of your hearing. You know how we've always watched cartoons and
Yes.
stuff, like those superpowers. These comics, they've got superpowers.
Yes.
It's just they're depicting that we also have those.
Wow,
Like when
okay.
you really learn to listen. Like right now, this place is quiet. Then if I can ask you, what sounds are you noticing? You might notice the bird is chirping. That is very loud. But then what do you hear beyond the sound of that bird? You know, what do you hear behind the sound of what you're hearing?
Okay.
You know, you begin now to extend the way in which you listen.
Okay. Wow.
If you are looking as well, what do you see?
Okay.
You might see these physical things that are very close, but there's more to that. You know, what extend that, like extend the way in which you sensitize your hearing,
Okay.
your visual, your auditory. What are you tasting? You know, so such things, they get sensitized. That is why people get scared when they begin to meditate. They feel like, no, this can't be real.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? It's real. It is exactly who we are. We are actually beyond this immediate things. Yeah, so meditation is very, very key. If I can advise anyone to do anything at all, all these other activities that we do are additionals. They're actually a transport for us to get there. But the main thing that one needs to do is just listen.
Okay.
And you just remain in silence and be there, be present with yourself. Because this thing, our physical beings are aging, man. Like, look at my hands now. You can tell I'm not 5 years old.
Yes.
Eventually, I'm going to fade. I'm going to die. You know. But when you begin to be aware of that, you get less worried about such things.
Wow. Yes. No, this is very powerful. And I'll definitely go and take the route that you just shared with us. Because, you know, for me, when I wanted to meditate, like the way that you just described so beautifully, I would find that the moment that thought comes to my mind, like whatever thought that would be, maybe just a random thought, then I'll be so captivated on the thought, wanting to hear, like, how is this thought taking me? And then now I find myself lost in jail. So I'll definitely go and you just described beautifully what should be done and what I should be listening to. And I'll definitely give you feedback when I've gotten to a level where I say that, yeah, now here
Yes, you can actually do guided meditations.
Okay.
I think for a beginner, it's always very important. If you're not able to just sit in silence, try guided meditations at least.
Okay.
So that you get used to being in the present.
Okay.
So you may go on YouTube and look for guided meditations, or you can call me. I do guided meditations too.
Okay.
Yes, I do guided meditation, so I can show you how you can do that.
Okay.
But if you are comfortable, go on YouTube and look for guided meditation. Choose what works for you.
Okay.
And do that for yourself.
Wow, no, this is very powerful. And now, you know, when you are maybe as a coach, when you are getting into the space, you find that one of the probably maybe the biggest challenges that people would be having, and especially when it comes maybe them having that their own self-mastery and discovering their purposes, you find that you are so bombarded with so much information that you tend to not even find your own voice, or instead of you finding yourself, you find, because you are inspired by your role models or the people that you are like, you might tend to want to go or to be there. Now, how did you conquer that, instead of you becoming maybe a duplicate of your role models and all those things, to actually finding yourself and finding your voice in that crowded space?
Oh, beautiful question again, because I've seen people do that a lot. And it can be worrisome for someone that wants to be exactly like the other.
Okay.
You have to be yourself, so therefore you need to really connect with that.
Okay.
And I think what we've discussed is exactly that. You have to operate from that level of awareness, and that comes from practicing more meditation. When you do that, you would know for sure that this is for me and that is not for me. As much as there's too much noise now, isn't that you moved away from the noise when you meditate? You are able to handpick the people and the content that aligns with what is high above.
Oh yes.
That aligns with who you are in that on that level.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're not even bothered about the noise. You can go into that noise and still operate very beautifully.
Oh
there.
yes.
Because I mean, you know for sure that this is me.
Yeah.
So when you are in the noise, you listen and watch and do all that, and still remember you've sensitized also your senses. So you are able to handpick what will serve the highest purpose for you.
Wow. This is very powerful. I just wish that maybe, like we were speaking, we had some videos so that we would demonstrate. Yeah. So now, for someone who's tempted to say that, nah, Cathy, you just had a perfect life, you were lucky or whatever, who's tempted to come up with excuses to disqualify themselves from doing the actual work. What are some of the mistakes that you did that exposed you to who you really are and to even help you to becoming this self-mastered centered being that you are today?
Sure, man. I did a lot of mistakes, and the one thing that I think I've done the most was being naive. I believe so much. Like when you tell me this, I believe you. I did not question much of people. I did not question people's intentions or motives much.
Okay.
Because I believe, I mean, why would you want to harm me? Why would you lie to me? You know, such. So that is the one thing that I've done the most. Just giving people credit where it's not even. Where they don't even deserve
it. Yes.
Yes, and that I think that stems from me naturally being a cheerleader. Like I love it when people are doing great. So some people will just lie. Just so you applaud them or you just in their space. Yeah, and I only realized later in life that you know what, the people that you actually keep around you may also not be the right people.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it happened in so many ways. I think everyone has got their own personal experience of how you can have people around you, whether it's friends, family, colleagues, and later on you realize, damn, what was I doing? What did I think?
Yes.
I think most of our mistakes stems from that particular space where we allow ourselves to make decisions that are based on what will people say.
Okay.
Yeah, people matter when we make decisions. Yeah, until you do the work.
Yes.
Yeah, until you do the work, you will not be bothered by any form of separation. Yeah, maybe if I do this, people will not like me and stuff like that. I think that is the part that I made a whole lot of mistakes and made me question myself in terms of am I good enough and stuff like that. But otherwise, yes, I did mistake. I believed boyfriends. You know, I believed friends. I believed employers. So it's just about the way I made decisions before that affected.
Okay.
Yeah, the person that I have been and have become now.
Now, if maybe there was, maybe let's say, for example, let's say, I don't even know, maybe if for whatever reason, maybe something miraculous happens, and it happens, or maybe when you are in the state of meditation, and maybe you are given a chance to say that going back before you became who you were, and you had to give some advice to who you were before, what would you say to the young you? Maybe that one who was naive, what would you say to them so that maybe they could be a little bit wiser and make the decisions that would ultimately help them to become a better person?
Relax.
Just relax.
Just relax. Take it easy, relax. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Not much.
Just
Otherwise,
relax.
Just relax. Yeah.
And you know, one thing that I also noticed that holds people back is that sometimes they tend to look at the painful experiences that they had in their lives, and they look at them with regret, saying that I wish I hadn't done that, forgetting that had you not done that, or had you not made that mistake, you probably wouldn't be the person that you are today. Do you also look at it with that perspective, or you've got some things that you are saying that no, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't?
I don't know, man. Because this thing I practice daily. My memory does not give me such information that the could have, should have.
Okay.
I guess the most thing that I am is just curious of what next
Okay.
than what should have been.
What should have been? Yes.
Yeah, what can I do next? Like, it's more about what and then.
What's happening next?
Yeah, and then not also not so much, but I do question what would I do next? Not what should I have done?
Okay.
Because I cannot undo what has been done. I can only create my
The future that I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, now for the overachiever who's listening to this podcast saying that, because I remember one time, it happens actually when you have a burnout, Nje. When you don't take time in your life to maybe, for the lack of a better word, to celebrate. Because I remember I was at a stage where there's nothing that I would maybe go back in my life and reflect and be grateful for. And you find that it leads to, yes, you'd be an overachiever, but sometimes because you are such an overachiever, you never even take 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes to even celebrate what you did. And all you just want is what's next. And over time, those what's next, how can I do this better? How can I do this more? You reach a point where you burn out. Because now you are constantly pursuing the what's next, that you miss taking some time to actually even be grateful. Maybe you don't even meditate because you think that no, meditating would take me more time, and I just want to achieve next. Now, what would you say or how would you advise someone who's an overachiever, who's probably, maybe someone has even bent out, they don't even see how far they've come, they don't even appreciate the success that they've achieved because they are also focused on the what's next? How do you balance pursuing the better you and taking some time to actually appreciate and to be centered as you, Nje?
I am blessed right now to be working with overachievers.
Okay.
And the more I'm in their space, the more I realize that these things are real. People can really get burned out. The beautiful thing about it is when we do the work, because I also that could be my coaching client, that could be my yoga client, that could be my client of all these things that I'm doing. I do a lot of just maybe 1-2 questions before we have our sessions. And with each time, there's a different question. Okay. That is a self-reflection question.
Okay.
And that will be supported also by them seeing. Now, it's more like I am saying, move from that angle and come this side, look at yourself.
Okay.
That type of a thing. And when I do that, they get to be like, wow, Cathy, thank you. Because now they get to be grateful of themselves, what they are doing and how they are doing it and stuff. So what an overachiever can do for themselves when they feel that they are burning out It's relax.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Relax. Shift from that side. Look at yourself from another angle. Look at how far you have come. And take a moment to appreciate that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can say, what am I most grateful for so far?
Okay.
And how does it make me feel?
Okay.
It does not have to take you the whole day for you to do it. It does not need 30 minutes of your time. It just needs you to stand. You might be anywhere. Maybe you're in the kitchen cooking and you feel like, oh no, I am burning out. Or you might be anywhere. Take a moment to ask yourself, oh, I feel this way now. But what am I most grateful for within this feeling? How far I am. Even if I'm not done with the things that I want to do, but at least up to now, what is the one thing that I'm most grateful for? Or maybe you can list the top 3. And when you have done that, ask yourself, with each one, how does it make me feel?
Okay. Wow.
And the more you reflect on how each one makes you feel, you get to now tone down and relax again.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're able to continue because now you are chasing your time and all that. Taking your time to do those little activities in your day or in the time that you feel you need motivation or just comfort the most. Do yourself that favor.
Wow, this is very powerful. I would do recommend that if you're listening to this podcast, take some time and go through that process. Ask yourself, what are you grateful for and how does it make you feel?
Yes.
Because I remember I also do that. When I tend to feel that, I'm not where I need to be or where I desire to be, what am I really grateful for how far I've been and how far I've come? Now, for the person who's listening to this podcast, who's saying that, I hear you talking about these NLP things and these beautiful things about meditation, and I feel like my life has no meaning, or I haven't found my purpose, or I haven't really mastered myself. Maybe at sometimes they even attempted suicide to say that I want to escape my life, or I want to escape maybe this pain or these challenges that I'm going through. Do you have some things that you could help them with? Maybe what would you recommend that type of a person do?
If anyone feels that they are not getting it together, is that control? That is getting to being in control is actually a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need to be holding on to the idea of being in control.
Okay.
As much as now it is the one thing that is being glorified, that you should be in control of your life in that way. But before you're in control, what do you do?
Okay.
Where do you draw your strength so you can control the things? Yes, you need to be aware of where you what the things that you're doing with that life, but where does it come from? Where does the strength for you to, if it feels so heavy, where do you get the strength to carry that weight?
Okay.
Because you're carrying the weight, and it's your weight you're carrying. So where do you get that strength? Right? You need to take your time to focus on looking at yourself, also to say, who is carrying this weight?
Okay.
In actual fact, who is carrying this weight? And not why, but just who.
Who? Okay.
Who exactly is carrying this weight? If you're not finding the answer to that question, ask yourself, who is not finding this question? Like, keep asking, who is this? Who is not finding this question?
Okay.
Until it unfolds for you.
Okay.
It will not take time if you really mean to find a solution.
Okay.
There is no need for you to be jumping from one therapy to the other, from one session to the other. And yes, you need those services. You need them for support. But you also need to do your work, and your work is just by you.
Okay.
At least know what to do. Know how to do it.
Okay.
And that is to say, who is doing this? Right now, if you are listening, you are saying, but who is listening to this podcast? Who is noticing these words? Who is noticing that? And the more you do that, the more you realize, nah, I got this.
Yes.
Yeah, the more you realize that you are actually far above these things that you probably are perceiving them. Like you are just perceiving these ideas that your life is a mess. You are having these challenges, and but the more you ask those questions, is the more you realize that no, there's me and there's me, you know, and there's me on a lower level and there's me on a higher level. So would I rather be the one that is on a lower level,
Or a
or
higher
would I
level?
rather be the one on the higher level? And if I'm the one on the higher level, how do I then deal with these matters that are on a lower level?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. This is very powerful. And I would recommend that if you're listening to this podcast, don't rush to get to the end. Do the actual work and continue listening to the podcast. So, in conclusion, what would be the final words that you would want to give someone who's listening to this podcast? The final words to say that if you are going through some tough times, what would be the encouragement? Or if you are going through great times, what would be your final words?
My final words would be that people, or you as a listener, or I, even myself, I would give myself the same advice that take a time and journal. I love journaling.
Okay.
That is where I think I also offload a lot. When you write down anything at all, it's not necessarily have to be guided, but when you write anything at all that is making noise in your mind, you are helping yourself. It's more like a therapy session for you. And the more you do it, the more you offload the weight that you are carrying. And take a time to practice what strengthens your soul. Remember, the soul, when we talk about the soul, we talk about the mind, we talk about the emotions, we talk about your thoughts. Those are the soul.
Okay.
There's the spirit, there's the soul, there's the body. And yeah, so when you focus on offloading or rearranging your soul, that is where you gain more strength for your life. That is where you are able to, that is where you are actually in control, like physical control of your life.
Okay.
It happens in your soul, and that soul is actually the mind. It's your emotions. If you're able to control your emotions and your mind, I mean, come on, imagine.
Yeah. Yes.
Imagine how much of a bliss that would be. Your thoughts. Yes. So do that, and for you to at least one tool that you can use is to journal.
Okay.
And prayer works, meditation works. And there's a lot of things that you can use. Yoga. Some people, athletes, they do marathons. During marathon, you can actually get your mind and your thoughts and your emotions to really find balance. The main thing is to find balance in your soul. And if you find anything that helps your soul to balance, do that. That allows your soul to be in a state of flow.
Okay.
And when your soul actually is in a state of flow, it allows your body and your spirit and also your soul to really go and allow life now to continue. Life to be to flow through you.
Yeah, no, this is very powerful. This is very powerful. And how can the listeners get hold of you? The events that you've got, the sessions that you've got, how can they get hold of you? And where do we see Cathy in action?
Okay, I am on Facebook as Cathy The Enhancer. I am on Instagram as Cathy The Enhancer. I am on Twitter as Cathy The Enhancer. And you can also find me on my cell phone.
Okay.
My number is +27 72 695 5490. Should I repeat my number?
Yes, you can.
+27 72 695 5490. All the other platforms, I'm Cathy The Enhancer.
Wow. No, if you are listening to this podcast and you're saying that, no, I want to do yoga, I want to do this meditation, she's got some nice programs that you could come for. There's even a retreat. You forgot to mention about the retreat. Yes. Got even retreats where you would go on some retreats with Cathy, and you get to really master yourself. Because a podcast is too small for us to go deep into the heart of the matter. But I'll leave her contact details below and the links to her social media so that you'll be able to listen to her. So, Cathy, thank you for taking the time to share with me, to teach me, and to even my audience, to teach them how do we have self-mastery from all these different perspectives. Because sometimes we tend to box ourselves thinking that self-mastery only happens maybe in one angle, maybe when I'm in church or whatever environment one might want to disqualify them actually experiencing a holistic self-mastery. So thank you for spending some time with me, and I hope that next time when we have got this podcast, we'll get deeper. We'll definitely get deeper into this. So thank you for spending the time and investing your time with me here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you for tuning in to the Igniting Dreams Within podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.